Hi everybody, I'm super sweaty because I carried all my stuff upstairs and I'm a hair hoarder. And I saw something on the wig groups earlier. It's unfortunate. It's just somebody talking apples to somebody talking oranges. There are so many stinking different variations of wigs and wig styles. It's just mind-blowing, which is overwhelming for some people, but then it's also super freaking awesome because who doesn't love options, right? It does get really confusing when you are trying to express what you want to someone and they either as a seller don't know what you mean because they're not knowledgeable, or they understand what you're saying but they don't have it or they're not able to get it for you, so they're still trying to kind of steer you into what they got to sell. I've encountered both types of sellers myself, and it's unfortunate when they keep trying to explain to you that their product is what you're asking for and you're like, no, it's really not. But if you don't understand that what they're saying is no, it's not really not, then you could end up in an unfortunate situation. And so it kind of made me think, hey, maybe I should make a video real quick since I am a hair hoarder and I've got 5,000,001 different types of hair, and I'm a do-it-yourself and crafter type of girl, so I've actually got some wig caps without even hair on them. I always say I love the Jewish style wig. I think it might be helpful to just go ahead and explain the different types of wigs and how they're manufactured, and then we'll go back and I'll say what I didn't like or why I wouldn't like something. This is like a 99% all lace wig, except for this little mesh part right up here. The rest of this, it is 360 all lace around. This can be used to make a wig in many different ways. Even though this wig cap is all lace, a seller could still use this wig cap and put wefted hair on there, which means you'll see hair that has been sewn on to the wig cap in wefts. So it might be an all lace wig cap, but they could still use wefted hair on there and then maybe just leave a portion in the front or 360, that then they would say it's a 360 lace, or they would say it's a lace front or an extended lace front. You could also hand tie every single piece of hair, so cut it off of the weft and then use a little ventilating tool to hand tie the hair to this wig, and then it would truly be an all lace, hand tied 100% wig. Another way that you could use this wig cap to make a wig is a combination of hand tying and or sewing wefts of hair on there with a closure. This is what I love. This is a silk base closure, meaning the hair was hand tied onto lace that had a silk base backing. So this is like a lace front piece. You could put more hair in the front, and then you could use this closure on any type of wig cap. So a wig maker could take an all lace wig cap, attach their closure, and then they could either use wefts of hair to continue making the wig, or they could hand tie using their hand and a ventilating tool, cut pieces, strands of hair off those wefts, and then hand tie them to the cap. Those seem nice. People like them because you can part them anywhere and you're gonna see that lace underneath. You won't run into, unless you have wefts, of course, which again, they're breathable. I don't like all lace wigs, even if they had a silk base added onto them, because it's not fitted. It might start off fitted. You could tighten this to your head, but the material being lace itself that goes from the perimeter around your hair is going to stretch out eventually. And you're gonna have to continue to modify this to continue to fit your head, or you're gonna have to use glues and or tapes to make sure that you don't start flapping. And it won't be a grab and go anymore. You won't be able to just throw this on your head. Like right now, I don't have any lace, or I'm sorry, I don't have any glue or tape or anything adhering this wig, because it's not an all lace, because all around the perimeter, except for an inch of lace front, is fitted cap material. This is not. This is why I don't go for these types of wig caps anymore. You might love them, you know, it's not for me. Wig cap type number 2. This is not an all lace wig. And also, while we're on this one, all lace does not mean the same thing as hand tied. Hand tied just means what I said is that somebody hand tied strand by strand each hair into a wig cap, and it doesn't have to be an all lace wig cap. You can hand tie other types of material like mesh. So just because somebody says, oh, you don't want all lace, you want lace front, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to change the type of wig cap. So be very careful that if you have somebody who's an all lace type of seller and then they tell you, oh, we can just do lace front instead, make sure that they've changed the type of cap they're using if what you're looking for is one that's going to be fitted. Because they could still make a cap and still be meeting your requirement, but it might not mean that they're using a different cap. They might just be putting the wefted hair on an all lace cap, and then it's not hand tied anymore. This is one that I started ventilating myself because, again, I thought I was going to be ambitious and make myself a wig, and then I realized how much time goes into this, and I don't have time for all that. But this is a cap that is fitted. Okay, so I could use this same wig cap and create my own Jewish style wig. So just because it has lace on there doesn't mean it's not going to work, because it is fitted. Now my problem with this type of wig, I can see already, is that if I weren't going to have a silk-based material put on there to kind of help this wig keep its form right at the perimeter of the hairline, you can see already that that extended wig in front, there's nothing there to form it to your head, right? So you're going to end up with the same, or at least it's been my experience, having lace, extended lace front wigs that did not have a silk base. It's been my experience that after time, since this area isn't taut, it's not being formed by anything keeping its form, it's the lace itself, it will start to flap in the wind. So again, that's why I prefer what I always call the Jewish style wigs, but what I really am meaning by that is that I prefer to have a wig that is made with a silk-based material or some other type of wig cap that means it has got a form that it will be keeping without any lace warping it in time. So the reason I'm explaining this is you can tell someone I want a Jewish style wig and they say, what does that mean? And you say, oh, it's a silk base. You know, the cap looks like this, and you know, I do like a little lace front added on. Well, they could use a material like this and put it on there, but if they don't make sure that this silk base is connected to the rest of this cap that keeps its form, you might end up with the same situation. Or if they don't sell you the silk base at all and they just sell you a cap that's like this and it has the lace but it's an extended lace, even if the cap is a fitted cap, if you don't have anything that is making this wig cap keep its form all the way up to your perimeter, that's been my issue with the wig caps. So I would prefer a wig cap that's more like this. This is technically a U-part wig cap, which means I added an elastic on here because I was going to do something else with it. I never did. But this is usually sold without that elastic there, but it has a little U cut in it because what ladies do is, and the rest of it is like a mesh type of lacy type of material that you could either hand tie your hair to, or you could sew wefts of hair on. But then the front has that little U-part hole so that you can either cut it and then pull your own hair out in front, or attach your own frontal to. And then you can cut that bigger or wider, however you need. But here's exactly what I'm talking about. This cap around the entire perimeter is formed to fit. So you see this line right here of material? That's what the other two did not have in the front. So if you get a lace front wig or a all lace wig, it has it right up to there on this one. But then when that extended lace front starts, it goes all the way back up here, which means any of this part that's stuck on your forehead, over time, it could stretch and then it doesn't fit and go taut to your head anymore, and you'd have to put it down with glue or tape, or somehow, you know, put it back together, like tighten it, sew it or something. The same thing with this one. This one's even more so because it's an all lace wig, so it literally has nothing forming it to your head anywhere. So when I say that I prefer the Jewish style wig caps, what I'm really meaning that to say is that all of the Jewish wigs that I've bought, or Jewish style wigs that I've bought, have all been made with a cap that has material that goes all the way up to the front where that lace, that silk base would be connected. Like this. So you can see now, this is one that I bought that's a true Jewish style because it doesn't have the lace front even added on there at all. It's just like the standard, but you can see. So it having this material all the way around the perimeter as well as the adjustable stuff here, but because it's this material, it keeps its form. So it's like a fitted cap. And then you can have the lace front added in front, but you see how the cap looks identical. So the cap is the same all the way around. It's a fitted material to your head, even in that silk base area here. All they did was they just added that little bit of lace front. And some people might not like just that little bit of lace front because sometimes the wig makers can maybe not be as good, and then you can kind of see where that lace front hits your silk base. But for the most part, that's not been my experience. I've just seen that on the board. Sometimes people complain about that. But in my experience, I haven't ran into that issue. And the reason that I prefer just that little itty bitty part of lace front, either from a lace wig grip matching up with my standard style or just having it connected already, is because that if you have that extended lace in here, like I just showed you on that other, there's nothing in this part that's making it keep its form. And you can see already just the difference between this lace. It's kind of flapping, you know, it's a little, it's just the nature of the beast with lace. And I think, again, that's why I preferred finding these lace wig grips to partner up with my standard, because then I don't ever have to worry about the lace getting warped. And if it does, I can just use a different wig grip, or I can adhere the wig grip to my forehead without having the entire wig, you know, adhered to my head. So please tell me if this is helpful, confusing, if you would like more information on any of what I just went over. I'll look through the other videos that I made. Like I said, this is like my third go round on this because there are just so many different pieces that go into it, including different colors of lace. If you do want to go down the lace avenue, you've got different colors and different things you can do with them. Long story short, the point of this YouTube is to share with you and to learn myself and to, you know, just kind of give back things that I've picked up along the way, because I've spent way too much money just to come to the realization that I have now around why I prefer a fitted cap versus the lace, but it might not be for everyone. So again, it's just my opinion, and I'm just trying to fully explain it so that I'm not just like, ew, all lace is yucky, and not telling you why, because it might not be yucky for you. Maybe you have an awesome head that never stretches out the lace, and so you never experience what I experience. But that's been my experience, and so that's why I don't prefer the all lace wigs anymore. Just me. but I'm trying to give you full disclosure so I'm not looking like a snob. And then also helping you understand the difference so that when you go out and you say, you know what, I think I'm like her, and I just want a cap that's fitted with like maybe just a little bit of lace front, make sure when you talk to those sellers that they don't just hear you say, oh, I just want lace front, and they still put it on a wig cap like this and then extend your lace back, because then you're still going to be in the same scenario if you have one of those crazy heads like me that stretches out lace. Or even worse, they might still make it on an all lace wig cap, and then you have nothing to help you adjust this to fit your head outside of sewing it or using glue or tape around the entire perimeter or a wig grip. But then you're still flapping on the edges. I mean, think about it. Just think about it. So again, let me know. Hasta la vista. May the selling be on your side. Or the buying. Or both. May the selling and buying numbers be on your side, and no one is tribute.